Adobe. Double click on it. What a bigger bag.
No, that's it.
It's a PDF. It's a camera. Yeah, so
This is interesting.
do something.
Yeah, so just for, like, if you've got a decanter, pour it through this gizmo into the decanter and it erases the line.
Just any red wine, or any, you just,
Yeah.
okay,
Oh.
just red wine.
Can I
Does
take
it benefit wine?
Yeah.
Drink it too quickly.
From Zip.
Can you just tell Michelle what I did so that she understands the depths of the state that I'm in, and you can get started.
You're right.
I can't believe you did that. We use DocuSign and they've sent the contract to me that I need, and I said, can you do it in DocuSign? They said, no, Adobe. So you just, I said, how do I sign it in Adobe? I hope there's no space. So we've worked out where to go. And then
She starts going like
started going like that. She goes, no, you've got to type it.
So she writes,
type. Seriously, I've lost the plot. No, I've got to get.
Need a drink.
I need, no, but this has been going on for 5 months. Oh, apply. Does that mean it'll go into all this? No, look where it's gone.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh,
Did
okay.
you go to the one in Cape
Yeah, so there's all these people online.
We have about 3 months. Three months down, to be honest.
Oh,
So that's one, yeah.
I got everything, I think I do. Yeah, nice to meet you.
All right. Well, I'm going to hand over.
Thanks,
So thank you for everybody coming back in. Going to hand over to Matt. You're all very familiar with Matt. And so some tech tips there. There were a couple of really surprising tips in this that I went through with Matt the other day. So I hope that you'll pick up a few things from him as well. Here you go, Matt.
Alrighty, I know I'm in between all of you in the weekend, so I'll try not to go for too long drinks.
I think so.
Weekend or drinks, maybe both. Look, I'll get rolled out probably once a year anyway, just to go over a couple of tech sessions. The guys in the practice probably get sick of me going over tech every Monday. But there's a couple of just simple things that we've been sort of introducing in the business that will assist, like has assisted us with efficiencies. There's a couple of things that are just coming out now that I just wanted to show you. Happy to share anything that we've done. Yeah, I'll just go through it pretty quickly, hopefully. The things that I wanted to go over today are product ranks. So that's the wealth comparison tool that we've started using in the office. It's a very simple, easy to use product tool. A lot of people have used Wealth Solver over the years. This is free. It sits just on the internet. I think it gets sponsorship from platforms. So I think if you're the highest paying platform, it might get a little star for maybe a recommended option to start with. But it's fully customizable for, you can make your model portfolios if you've got managed accounts, and also just for really quick cost comparisons. So I'll go through that.
Insurance?
No insurance.
Just investment.
Just investment. Wealth comparison to no insurance comparison. Eyes, Darren.
Ready?
Don't just type, don't type, put your name.
All right, I'll get it hiding later. Otter AI. So this is a meeting recording, transcription, file noting tool. Sean earlier spoke about this and how he's really leveraging it, that he doesn't have anything, any conversation with clients that isn't recorded. And he had good evidence where it was obviously to his advantage. Going into that, I've got, look, sorry to the Android and Google users, but a couple of iPhone tips with some of the new software that's coming out. It's all built into your phone. But again, if you've got a newer iPhone or you're about to buy one, there's going to be some pretty funky stuff that comes out in the next little bit. And then Microsoft 365, look, I think Caroline wants to get a guy down to sort of put a showcase together of what you can actually do with 365. We're all probably using it in our businesses, but there's a lot in there that people don't utilise, and it includes, you know, things that you would pay other services for that you can just do in-house, and it's in your own organisation. I'm just going to highlight today Forms, which is Caroline's been using it for with our QR codes, which we've been doing our questionnaires at the end or start of every sessions. But we've been utilising it for over a year now for our financial planning pre-appointment questionnaire. So it helps us pre-qualify, hey, is this a client we actually want to sit down in front of? And recently I've just gone through the process of developing an insurance pre-assessment questionnaire. Happy to share it. It's easy for me to just say, send us a copy, and then it can sit in your own Microsoft account, and you can edit it as you wish. And if you needed a bit of assistance with that editing, I can help. Very easy to use. You just get an email when a client has finished it. The first thing I'll go into is product recs, and Darren always says show, not speak. So I'll get into it and show you just a little bit of what it's about. Hope everyone can see that. So it's a very simple process of setting up an account. You can put all of your details in, who you are, your email address, what your role is, AFSL, authorised rep number. If you've got multiple people working in your business, you can set up a practice as an example and have as many users sit in there as you want, and give them different settings. So, you know, if you want people to be able to change your model portfolios or colours that your business have, you can give them that cowboy hat, which allows them to do anything. Probably promote the admin apparently for Ben, so he doesn't have a cowboy hat there, so he's unauthorised. Very easy to put risk profiles in, so you just have your balanced growth, moderate, high growth, and how you like your splits, and you can choose, if you've got your practice set up, what active profile you want to be doing. Themes, again, this was relatively easy to set up. You can have different borders and things like that. I just kept it very simple and didn't bother with changing anything there. Custom investments, so as an example, you can make your own custom investments. We don't really have anything like that, but if, as an example, you were doing, you wanted a product like a property fund that was not a typical managed fund, researched and didn't have the code that was sitting in here, you'd be able to add that itself. Model portfolios, so you can add model portfolios. I think I've got a few here. So for our practice, very easy to do. You can choose what platforms they're available on, the risk profile that it's meant to be aligned to, and then also what investments that you want. Similarly, if you use managed accounts, which is, I guess, similar to a model portfolio, then you can, again, what's the risk profile, what's the available platforms, and again, you've just got your percentage allocations and the type of investment and the investment there. Very easy to do and type in, and it's there. The real efficiencies that we've found in the business is, hey, like as an advisor, you go away, you've met with a new client, and you're going, oh well, they've got, is it Australian Super? They might have something else, and the wife's got 2 accounts as well, and you're going, all right, well, we need to do some cost comparisons and things like that before we can shoot it off to our paraplanners, and we have confidence in what we're recommending. Auto Recs is a relatively funky way of just saying, hey, I want to compare different platforms and I want to use a model portfolio to compare them against each other. And I'll show you how that's done in practice.
So Matt, can you put in like the discounted rate card for?
Yeah, any discounted rate cards, if product recs, you can just email them and they'll update like NetWealth or any other platform that it is, so that you've got your fees that are meant to be discounted. The other things are they will assist with some of the setups of other things as well. To just go from start to finish with a new client scenario, we'll do this, and I might use Ben as an example. And you might put a date in or something like that, but let's pretend like Ben is a growth investor, and I want to share it with the rest of my team. So I'll just be able to hit begin. And in this current situation, Ben's been in the is in a CBUS super account. There we go. In that CBUS super account, he has been in the growth, and he's got 500,000. Very simple to do. If Ben had, as an example, I'll go back to here, a NetWealth or a Macquarie or anything like that, you can import. So as an example, if they've got an existing platform, you can get an export from that platform if you're the advisor on it, if it is an existing client, and just upload that file simply here, and it will auto identify all of the investments and the account number and account type. Over here now, I'm going, all right, well, where should I put Ben? There's this nice auto recs button up the top here, and it's identified that Ben is a growth investor by the investment that he's currently in, and we've got 500,000. So I'll just hit auto recs, and down here we've got an instant cost comparison between BT Panorama, Hub 24. Because our business is primarily a NetWealth, we've got the core and plus cost comparisons. Core not being the preferred option given the portfolio size, we would delete that in this instance, but then we're able to go through and see, okay, well, NetWealth is costing us 7,000, Hub is 7.5, and BT looks like 7,000 as well. Given that our preferred relationship and we work very closely with NetWealth, we would then pull this over to here and be able to have that there. And if I click in, we have now got the investment options as per that last part. If I want to go back to here and start at the client part, I might go have a look at Ben, and now I've got to add a family member. You don't need to add any of these other things, but it comes through for that. So in here, I might want to now do a new scenario for. Oh, whoops, sorry. I think it'll go up here. So now I want to continue with, I've got a growth and now want to do, I know link to existing. Lease. So we've got that down there. I could have created a lease here and then it would have populated in there. A lease is with Host Plus. Try and be quick with this part. And she balanced with 400. Now I want to again perform my auto recs. It's a bit slow. Let it think. Again, I'll get rid of our thing over there and bring over our preferred option. Given that it is a family group, we're able to then say, hey, well, we should be getting family linking. So we want that to be identified that they are linked. So now when I click on Ben, we can see that there's family linking. Elise has got 400,000 and the fees have been adjusted down. You can add manually if we're going to have any additional family members, and the fees will also adjust accordingly. Once we're at that point, we can just say, hey, we want to get product recs, which will give us an export document that could go into an SOA. It could be that you hand it over to your client and you give the rest of your ROA if you're doing an investment switch verbally and follow the rest. But for us, it means that you've got something that's super quick and easy to do, or pass it on to an outsourced paraplanner to go through. And that there has where we are, where we're going, the asset allocations, the costs, the product comparisons with the other funds, like for likes, and asset allocation charts, family asset allocation, and everything. Again, this is a free tool. You might be.
We can just use that in the SOA instead of the well solver stuff.
Yeah.
You can drop your wallets over.
Yeah, that's paid for that.
So again, like yeah,
It
yeah.
does.
It's super easy. This again, I've spent a little bit of time without realising that you just email support. But I'm also that I'm that type of person that likes to figure things out. So then I can give give people information. The other thing that I think is really interesting for our industry is that when we're recommending products, it doesn't always come down to cost. Yes, cost is good. You don't want to be putting someone into an exorbitant fund or super fund, but there are other things that are intangible that you can't just say, oh, what does that cost associate with? And you can actually rate these different platforms based on service wait time, speed to execute transactions, withdrawals. CBUS would be getting a 0 for death benefits. So all of these different things that are not cost related, but they're important to what your overall assessment is as to the product that you're recommending. And it can then, again, flow into this document, which we haven't done any of these ones here, but you can have that. And the more people in your team that do the ratings, it'll aggregate it, or you could say that you want your preferred one to be 5 stars for everything.
Do you know if there's an aggregation behind product recs that you can access those star ratings that everybody else has rated?
I don't.
Or is it just, okay.
But, I think some of the questions are like BDM responsiveness and things like that. Look, it's just a simple tool that we've picked up that can be really helpful, whether it's that you know that you're going to do a switch for the client before the meeting that you're about to go into, and you'd go, well, I don't want to articulate the buy sell cost to the exact dollar when you're giving advice, but if you've got a document that can be done in a couple of seconds, it can be very helpful.
So this is only at investment level. It's not insurance. So it's going to understand, but super helpful.
Yeah, and look, it's easy for those that were here for the Zeppo presentation, and there were conversations around if. Product Rex plugs into if. So if you're using if, Product Rex is their preferred wealth comparison tool, and yeah, so you can go through that process there.
When you join with Product Rex, it will ask for your licensee details, so it will connect to us as well. So any rate cards that we've got, we've uploaded. So Netwealth rate card is already in there, so it will pick up the Netwealth. Yes.
Okay, well there you go. So it should be automatic then for anyone that has. Otter AI, moving on. So I've probably already gone over the time limit I thought I would, but anyway, so Otter AI is a meeting recording software. Sean spoke about it. I selfishly decided to use it prior to going on long service leave for 2 months earlier in the year, and I thought I've got to try something. I've got all these meetings. I'm going to be away for the end of financial year. Let's have a crack. And I tried it without knowing what it was going to be like for one meeting, and I came out of it so impressed that I said that the whole practice was going to have this and all of the advisors. And what it's done is it cuts down all of your follow-up time. You can be more engaged with your clients because you're not in your notebook writing down things. It's got a recording. Its follow-up work is extremely helpful. I have, as of interest, this is what came out of Caroline's compliance update earlier. So advisors at the moment should continue current practices for fee disclosure statements until further guidance. Engage with compliance before implementing new software or AI technology. These are just some summary points. What you can then do is obviously, if I go into here, this session that Caroline ran, I've got this summary here as to what the meeting was about. It has action items that need to occur, decisions made, issues and risks. We can then go into the transcript. If it's an online meeting, it's taking screenshots of what's occurring and inserting it at points in time for reference. So if you're having a Teams meeting, it plugs into Teams, it plugs into Zoom. You can use it on your phone for in-person meetings. But what it means is that you're getting snapshots of where you're at. You can then tag the speakers. So I've had Caroline talk before, and she was a chatterbox with 83% of this session. No surprises, I can keep my mouth shut, and then it's 5% for the next. And you can actually see, I think Catherine's in there as well for 1%. So, but I could ask it then, and it's analysing immediately what we discussed and what she was going to do following this meeting
Might
instantly.
send that one to me too.
What was that, Carol?
Might send that to me.
Interestingly, I asked Otter to join this meeting as well, and you can see how live it is with updating the text and where we're at in it. I had an advice presentation yesterday with clients in the afternoon. I haven't had the chance to do anything with it yet, but I said that I was going to send an email to Mike and Christine.
Have we just had a Privacy Act breach here?
No.
I'm recording this week. I'm just on 70.
This is an educational session.
So that was me just saying, can you draft an email? So once the property sale is finalised, settlement with the conveyancer, we'll need a copy of the receipt from Opal for the RAD, request bank statements from the ANZ showing the funds, updating settlement, Centrelink, funeral bond for follow-on. So that sort of stuff is instant. We use it for our file notes as well. So just like Sean said, we've got a prompt that basically says, as a financial advisor, please write a file note, a detailed file note. Please include high level of detail of figures and include, changes to personal and family life, include changes to financial position, investment returns, portfolio returns, estate plan, insurance, all of these different things. And funnily enough, you get a file note that looks like a file note, smells like a file note, and you might edit it a tiny bit, and it's not taking you the hours that it previously did.
So you can set up prompt templates. So rather than typing it in like Matt just did, you can have your prompt templates and copy those and paste it in, and it'll generate that. You can do things as well, like if you then go away, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day, it's not just limited to conversations that you're having with clients. You could actually start recording your own thought processes. So I'm recommending for that. Yeah. Recommending this for this reason, for that reason. And if you follow that file note template, that we have online, and it goes through all of the considerations. Why have I considered this? Why haven't I considered that? Why have I done this one? What about TMD? Does the client need the TMD? All of those sorts of things. You can get it to then populate your functionality you're recording into that under those headings. I'm also thinking, sorry, Renee.
What if you're not using Teams and you're doing it in person?
In person. So what I do is I've got the Otter app on my phone.
Yeah.
I leave it on the desk. I start the meeting. It picks up stuff when I leave my phone on the desk, and I walk the clients out to the front door. And my voice is very loud, so apologies, but that it can still hear me at the front door, and it picks up the words so clearly. If you take photos of a whiteboard, if you're like a teacher's son that likes to use the whiteboard, it will insert it just like I showed you with the screenshot. So you might be trying to show them how you like asset allocation or how things, and it'll insert it to the point where you're talking about that part. I'll go over some more things, but you might have. Oh no, that's all right. So yeah, you've got Microsoft Teams.
So that drafted email, you just then copy and paste that into Outlook and off it goes. Is that what happens?
Yeah. So
how do you send the email? It's just...
Do you use it, Darren?
I'm not
allowed to speak to clients anymore.
So there's a simple copy text button there, and you just copy it and paste it wherever you want, whether it's your CRM for a file note, whether it's whatever.
You have to get the client's approval for recording?
Yes. You always should. Under the legislation here in Victoria, there's a funny one person consent thing. Always get their consent.
Should you have that on the recording?
It might feel like it's doubling up, but I would say to a client before you start it, hey, I'm going to record this meeting if you don't mind. It's just to make sure that I'm not missing anything and that we can have a really good conversation. And then when you start, you say, just reiterating, you're okay with me to record this.
Yeah.
And then you've got it.
I have had no pushback. The first thing I say is, look, we've got this new technology that we use that records our meetings, so it allows us to be more engaging with you, and also it helps me with all of my file noting and follow-on work. and basically allows me to do the job that you want me to do, not the, the arduous stuff. So yeah, it's as simple as hitting that.
Sorry, has
text.
anyone resisted?
No.
No.
People just.
And it's so easy. You've got the functionality.
This call will be recorded for training and.
You've got the functionality to just hit record up the top in your internet browser. If you've got the phone app, you can hit record as well. Some people might have soft phones on their computer, or they might still use a landline and get calls to that. If you want to record it, you can still say, hey, I want to record it, and just have it on speaker and record it on your phone.
So one of the things with Adult AI that we haven't seen yet in Copilot is the recognition of different voices,
So
which is incredibly important.
that's for a lot of us. We do have in-person meetings, and even if you do have a Teams meeting, often you've got two people on the other end. So what it's trying to do is pick up voice, not say, okay, well, there's a user Matthew Borg and there's a user Darren Borg. So any voice that comes from Darren Borg's user must be Darren, and anyone that comes from Matthew must be Matthew. So it's actually picking up voices, and it'll identify your voice based on that. Once you've had multiple meetings with clients, you can actually ask, hey, what was the difference in the tone of the meeting between my last meeting with Darren and the current one that I've just had? You can ask it for insights into your meetings as to what is the topics of conversations and how much time are being spent on those. So it is very powerful. It is a bit scary, but it is something that I've found has been a really good help for us in our business, and also, I guess Sean said how helpful it is as well. My next one is iPhone tips. Again, most people use iPhones, I think, in Australia. The first thing is we're entering that age of AI. It's pretty scary. We've seen transcription software which is older already, but Apple Intelligence is about to launch in, I think, December for Australia. But also if you've got a 15 Pro or one of the 16 models, it will be included on your phone. But apart from that, we've still got some pretty good functionality already. People say, oh yeah, I've got my phone on auto update. I'll just share my screen quickly. But what you might find is, even if you've got your phone on auto update, can you see that down the bottom here, it actually still has, upgrade to iOS 18. So that's not an automatic thing if you want to transfer to the new software. What I'll show you now is just a quick demonstration of what has become available in iOS 18 in the more recent version now. Hopefully people online can hear anything. But
You can find the whole conversation.
no, you can't. You won't be able to hear. So basically, up the top here, we can see there's this little funky button, and that button there is to record this phone call. Okay, so at the moment, I'm having a bit of a quick discussion with my client. I've hit the button, and it's saying this phone call will be recorded. My audio isn't playing at the moment in this video, so we can't hear it, but it plays for both ends. You saw there, take notes on this call. So what's occurring now is the conversation is occurring. You can see down the bottom we've got the voices going on. I'm asking Caroline about everything, and eventually, once we finalise what we've discussed, we'll hang up, and there we go. So I've got now a note. It's transcribing that, and it's got all of my text with that clients call us on their phones, unfortunately. You don't want them calling you on your phone, but what's going to happen is now, I'll just pause so it doesn't go too quickly. I get a bit excited. What Apple Intelligence will do is it will be able to summarize that call. So the longer you're on the phone to a client, what Otter's just done for me, it will be able to do. But you can save that audio file. So if you want to put it onto your SharePoint in that client folder, you can. If you want to still, so you can save the file. And now what I'm doing is I'm going into my Otter on my app. Up the top right-hand corner, I've got an upload button. I'm uploading my phone call with Caroline. And all of a sudden now it's going to process the audio of that conversation that I've had and give me a summary of anything that I've just done. So this is just a couple of the things that you'll just have for free though on your phone.
We'll have time to do compliance. It'll be fabulous. Put in all our complaints. I have time to put in all our complaints. It'll be like.
Right up the top there, I've got now, that's how quick it was. Your call with Caroline Durkin is ready. So it's been able to analyse the audio and give me a summary of
So
what's
your Otter
happened.
coming in.
That's my Otter
Yeah.
like phone app and there. So it's super easy to use. As I said, it's now available. It doesn't matter whether you got an older or a newer iPhone. But now we've got the conversation with Caroline there in my Otter, and I can write copy file notes or say, yep, was there something I needed to send an email just like I demonstrated before, and shoot that off. So there you go. Here's the summary. So, or transcript, yeah. So that's just another little thing without, you know, again, with if you wanted to listen to the call, you can listen to it on Otter, or you've got the recording. Again, I don't think I'm sharing my audio, so there's no point playing that now.
So Matt made me do that update on Wednesday, and I missed a call from my mum, and I saw it pop up as like this message.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, why would my mum send me a message? And it wasn't the right tone for what my mum used. Like she referred to herself as mama, and I was like, what is this? I was saying to Ray, oh, like mum sent me a message as well as calling me. Like this is really weird.
And
I
called
couldn't
herself
find the
mum.
message. Yeah,
So
couldn't
now,
find the message, but it's from the voice
so once
mail that she left.
on this new software update with iPhone, when people start leaving you a voicemail, it will try and transcribe it live so you can actually see the message. So if someone's calling you and decides to leave a message because it actually is important, not someone just trying to solicit your time or whatever, you can actually see what's going on and go, oh shit, this is actually an important call, I better take it, and intercept the voice message, just like the old days when people had the landlines. You might let it go through and then the voicemail, and you can answer it. So you can actually still answer it whilst that message has been going. And last but not least, I said that I was just show some Microsoft Forms. It's ready for drinks time, but again, we've been using these to great effect for pre-qualifying clients. It's a very simple and easy to use. It's mobile friendly. I can share it with anybody. Again, if you've got the Microsoft 365 suite, you can create these yourself. But it is qualitative, where it asks for your information.
So sorry, is this a prospect or?
This is a prospect. You could
Yep.
utilise it for
Have you
review.
adapted this for yourself? Like, have you set this up?
Yeah, this is
How long did it take you to set up the form? To
me.
create this form?
Probably an hour to figure it out. But as I said, I can share this and it can be done with,
You can edit it.
you can edit it and get rid of questions that aren't. So like at the moment, it's just me, myself and I. If I'm married, it wants to then get my partner details and things like that. If I'm just single, it just goes straight into my email and everything like that. So it then goes into questions like, you know, what do you want out of this? What are your assets, income, all this sort of stuff. Super. Do you have a pension? Do you have accumulation?
So where did you get the fields from, or you're able to?
You
Yeah.
create
You
it.
create them, yeah. So if I go,
Is it similar to the jot form program?
it would,
Where you kind of filter in, it says like put your name and you kind of slide in boxes across.
yeah. So it's pretty easy. Microsoft have got templates that you can use now. Again, me trying to be me, I did it before. Life was easier, but you know, like you can just say, hey, what do you want your form to be? Do you want to start with text? So if I flick back into here, I've started with a bit of an introduction before going into any questions. If you wanted templates, like again, do you want to ask for customer satisfaction? You might just have there's a 19-page or 19-question customer satisfaction quiz that you might be able to just use off the bat there. But again, what I've got, I can share, and
Like, can we adapt yours? Because a lot of that
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of those forms, the feedback forms, the evaluation forms, they're all done through forms.
Yeah.
Those QR codes, they're all on forms.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
it's all there.
and yeah, so tell me a bit about yourself, why you're seeking advice. What sort of areas do you want? How did you hear about us? You were referred. Who were you referred by? Who were you referred to? Of course, different businesses will have different names. If the advisor is unavailable, you're happy to see a different one that's within the business. How soon do you need to see the advisor? Everyone says ASAP. A lot of them say within the next month. What's your current work status? So again, like, are you employed or retired? It just asks you what's your source of income. But if you're employed, what is your occupation? What is your income from work? And so on. If you've got a partner, otherwise not applicable. What are your living costs? Do you own a home? Yes. What's your home worth? Do you have a mortgage? Yes or no? You have investment properties, so on and so forth. So again, I can share this with anybody, I'm happy to, but for us, it helps pre-qualify, but also it gives us a more engaging meeting with the clients because we know what they're about. If they're willing to fill this in, they're willing to sit in front of you and they're already engaged.
Yeah.
So how did the client get it? What does it look like when the client gets it?
This is what the client sees.
So it's just like what we've been filling in, Caroline.
Yeah.
And how do you send it? You can either get the QR code out of it, you can send a link to it, you can rename the link, you can do it in lots of different ways. I think you've got this on the website, don't you?
Yeah, so
There's a
our
link on the website that they go into and yeah.
And what about the security of the information they're providing?
it's all within Microsoft, so it's all so highly it's as secure as your file
Yeah.
system. So that's obviously important. But yeah, so on our contact us page, we say please call the office or complete the questionnaire, and it takes them straight to there. But you've got the options as well in here. I think I've got it saved in here.
And then we just need to get it linked to Zeppo or Xplan.
Yeah, so that's
it's straight in there.
That's the next thing. So then you can see when you own the thing, you can see what the responses look like. We delete them as they go, but you can see the names and scroll through them, your results, print it out.
Do you get a notification that somebody's completed?
We get an email when it's been completed,
You can
and
set that up as a yes.
and you can have it so you might have an automated forward on to your admin staff that will do the data entry, and then they'll go do everything for you.
Right.
The other one that probably is
Week.
maybe of interest for you, Amanda, more than anyone, was this pre-assessment for insurance. So again, if it's insurance, you want to get a lot of the questions up front to know whether one, they're going to be insurable, or two, everything like that. So again, you've got the questions that you can go through.
How old are you? 19,900.
Oh, whoops. Have you smoked tobacco? So again, like it's trying to go through a lot of the different questions that, like a questionnaire or the application will do. Are you an Australian citizen? Do you have definite plans? Yes, no. And then it goes into your pastimes and everything like that. So if it was yes, what pastimes is it, and things like that. So again, happy to share that with anyone that does insurance work. But as simple as, you know, you get your answer and you can have a look at what the results are. You qualify with them. Hey, are you sure with this? But then, you know, you might be questioning, okay, well, if you're not as experienced as Amanda in there, you might go, okay, well, what insurers may touch this, and you send it off for some pre-assessments.
Do you go into medical, like asking some medical?
Yeah. I'll
Yeah,
get
you
that.
just say no to that. Yeah.
Standard drinks. So.
It's what we.
Have you ever been recommended to reduce your alcohol? Well, mum's a doctor, so yes. No, I'll say no. Have you spent?
Absolutely not.
And then, yeah, so are you currently working? Yes. Occupation? Yeah, whatever you want. No. Your duties, what your hours are. Yeah, but so it goes through all of those.
And then it does ask the medical stuff.
Yeah.
You can get it to ask whatever you want it to. So you can tailor all of this, like even the look and feel. You can change the graphics, you can change the colour scheme, all of that sort of stuff.
Right.
Definite plans.
What are you doing at 9 o'clock on Monday, Matt?
I'm preparing 15 minutes before my Monday meeting, but I can have a conversation later. Have you been made bankrupt?
So I
then, yeah,
wouldn't go into as much detail.
Pardon?
Personally. I wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah, so yeah,
as much
or as little as you want, you can delete or not. And again, for me, what it was like, if I wanted to, I could then take most of this and put it into the application, or if I'm unsure and not as experienced as yourself, I could maybe shoot it up to
one of the underwriters
and say, hey, can you give me a pre-assessment on this? So it's giving you all these, but we could cut stuff out or
add some things,
or add stuff that you
think is relevant.
Yeah. So happy to share with anyone.
Love it.
It's in your Microsoft stuff suite.
There's no additional cost for this. It's included in this suite.
Yeah.
Copilot, what's the cost of Copilot? I think it's $300 a year.
Something like that. Yeah.
So Copilot, sorry. Otter is about $300 per user per year. Copilot, I think, is $500.
I think.
And you have to pay that up front.
Otters, I think, are a little bit cheaper than that. But Copilot's certainly more expensive than Otter. I think it was about double the amount, but they're different things. So I think, like, if you were trying to use Copilot for AI, like it's probably not as developed as Otter for meeting recording and transcription, but what it will do is analyze, like, summarize like if you've just been forwarded an email and someone says, hey, what do you think about this? And you're like, what do you mean? There's a whole chain of them. It'll give you a summary and things like that. And the more that you use, I think if you turn Copilot on, you won't necessarily see an overnight change, but the more you use your computer, it will then start to learn what you need and things like that. But the good thing about Copilot versus ChatGPT, it's the same open AI technology, but it's housed within your ecosystem. So if you're going to pay for ChatGPT $17 or whatever it is a month, well, for $30, you can get the same sort of AI chat functionality, but also it sits within your private ecosystem. So I'd say that you'd be better off paying a tiny bit more. An example of what Copilot would be able to do is you've got your SOA and you might just say, hey, here's my SOA. Can you make a PowerPoint presentation for me to go through the key points with the clients? And you go, okay, here's the legal document, but let's get into the actual important stuff. And, you know, that's what the clients are actually there to see you for, not see the disclaimers. Sorry, Caroline.
So there are other, so we speak about Otter because that's what we use and we've found that it's really effective. There are others that are coming out and have been released, things like Claret, FileNote AI. Those two have been developed specifically for financial planners in Australia. So they have a lot behind them in terms of what those file notes should look like, etc. They're much more expensive. So it's just what you want out of it. And I think FileNote AI was something like $140 per user per month compared to something like Otter AI, right? So it just depends on what you want out of it and what you're willing to spend. But there's certainly some programs that are being developed specifically for financial planning.
The thing I like is flexibility. Otter we can use for internal teams meetings. It doesn't need to be financial planning discussions. It could be, we had a directors meeting and it was able to record and give us, we thought, okay, well, we'll still write minutes for the first one just in case. And it came back better than what the minutes were. So things like that, even if you're putting your thought processes down of what you're thinking, you know, Sean said that he just sits there for 30 minutes going, hey, this is what I'm thinking, and it'll summarize what he's thinking and put his action items and things like that in. So it's
So good.
functionality isn't just financial planning. And I think, yeah, the more you use it, the more engaging you can be with clients, and also the time savings. You know, like one of the things that blew me away early use was the client that I had recently sat down with, and I remembered he had a BT50 and that was about it. I said, oh, what car did he drive? And he said, oh, it was a 2016 BT50 with this many kilometres on it, and we thought it was this like it's in good condition, and it's got and it's valued at this. So it's not just giving you the small, he drives a BT50, it's actually giving you context around the conversation.
But can it be too much? Like that sounds like a lot of unnecessary detail.
That's good for Centrelink, like for the stuff that we do with Centrelink.
Okay, it's good.
Then we can get an accurate valuation.
Right. Okay.
Out of Redbook to substantiate what it's worth.
Look at you knowing what's going on. The technology.
So yeah, look, it can be overwhelming to think about what's out there, but like I you know, Otter was something that, as I said, I didn't play with, and it was super easy to bring on. You don't need to be a genius. It's no secret that my wife works in financial planning as well, and I flicked it over to their business, and Georgie, the principal there, she uses it now and she loves it. And again, like it's just something simple that you can use and cut down time for the $100 to $200 for the year. It's certainly worth it in my opinion.
It's, without being judgmental about any of our other team members, Kath, you probably put the most time into your file notes. How much time do you think it's saving you? No.
Now it's
Yeah.
Now file notes are incredibly detailed before Otter.
Yeah.
And now might be saving.
I probably save about 45 minutes per client.
I would
Yeah,
actually, that's probably, I would say a lot more than that, to be honest.
Are you rewriting much of what comes out?
No, not.
Just organising?
I use the prompts that we put into it and it spits everything out, and then I'll add things as well. But
Yeah.
I probably, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes after the, you know, like it really, like you put in the prompts and it spits it out within 2 minutes or even a minute. I don't know how. It's
So
really
you've
quick.
come up with prompts for the business?
Yes.
Yeah, well, there's a pretty simple one that we use as a start point, and then it'll be, hey, can you elaborate? Like you might just say, can you elaborate more on this area, or can you add something about this? So the prompt that we use, or that I use,
and even just taking up things, like what are the action items out of this? And who needs to do it?
What was the client most concerned about?
Yes, so I actually did it, I brought on board and I had a recorded meeting and it was a compliance meeting that was 2.5 hours. And I took that recording and I put it into Otter, so it wasn't, I didn't have it switched on, this was a couple of weeks after. It then took this transcript from that and I was able to ask it to summarise, to do the action items. What I've just found, it's not really good when you try to copy and paste a table from Otter AI into anything else. It looks awful. That's probably my only criticism. And then I was able to ask it things like, were the attendees engaged in the meeting? And then it spoke about how everybody was engaged and what they did and any question that came out. It was really great.
Would you be happy to share that?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So this is that's the start point. So as a financial advisor, prepare a detailed file note of the conversation, ensure to include a high level of detail regarding figures discussed, ensure the note covers conversations regarding changes to personal, family life, health, portfolio, investment markets, changes to financial circumstances, requirements for cash flow and expenditure, insurance discussion and estate planning discussion, add any extra. So it's
Pretty good.
Gives you a pretty comprehensive outline after that, and you'd be pretty unlucky if you needed to edit a lot. The other thing that you can get it to do is in these insights area, you can just hit like new insight there, and basically it'll track what you want it to track every meeting that you have. Now, I have internal and client meetings, so I don't want to ask for budget or cash flow requirements for things that I have discussions with other staff, but so I haven't edited that. But you could, if you were just purely using it for client meetings, you could ask it to just look at those different things there.
Could it prompt you if you've left one of those areas of discussion out? Like
It does say if there was no discussion about this.
insurance.
So I think-
It's already
That potentially, as you're going through, so we've got this recording now, this meeting, you can have it sitting there and just go, here's my agenda, identify if I've missed any items. And it can pop it up and go, yep, you've discussed all of this, you haven't discussed this. So this is real time. So you're talking to the client, you're going, oh, look, we've just missed out on these couple of things. We just need to go through these.
AI, can you just tell my client? Yeah, so I went to the beach.
This is this live meeting, and it's already got an outline and different things there, and the chat functionality is available to start talking to it already. So if you had your computer there and you wanted to, and it's telling me that it's added another screenshot, it can be used within the meeting if you want it to be. So yeah, there's no issues with that. It's pretty funky. I think we've run over time. I promised to do it.
One thing, Paula's just asked, Copilot replacing Otter, potentially, but we haven't had enough experience ourselves to play with Copilot to see. From what I understand at the moment, it doesn't do that. It's not very good at recognising the different premises.
Yeah, so because the difference is the in-person meetings. Copilot will sit beautifully if you have purely one-on-one Teams, Microsoft Teams meetings, but if you use Zoom or any other meeting, then it's not going to work for you. So Otter provides a bit more flexibility. I've asked it to go to different, webinars before to give me summaries of what I missed and things like that. Or if it was a team, like if it was a meeting that someone else was having and I was unable to because I was either on leave, I could still ask it to go there and give me a summary of what was discussed.
So on a Teams meeting, if there are, 2 people at the other computer, it'll say voice 1, voice 2, and then you can say voice 1 was John, voice 2 was Mary, and then it separates all.
So it knows that the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's like you sort of have to educate it. So the more you use it, the more attuned it is.
Yes.
It's,
Absolutely.
look, and being tech, it's changing pretty quickly. So it's, I think from when I started it in May, it's become better.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly as well. So look, scary place that we live in at the moment with all the tech, but you can use it to be very effective in your business.
And NetWealth do heavily use Copilot. So if you're talking to anybody from NetWealth, they can give you some insights there. There are some different webinars, sessions that NetWealth have done on this. NetWealth have also done some sessions on Canva, or they're coming up. Have a look at those as well if you're interested in Canva and what you can do with that. They've had some people join. If you just jump into NetWealth, it'll come up automatically. Oh, well, that's the one that's coming up at the moment, the webinar for that, for Canva. So have a look. NetWealth are doing a lot there.
And that's,
out of time,
that's it.
literally.
Hopefully everyone has a great weekend.
Everyone, and if you can remember to do your feedback forms, I've also got a feedback form for the general overall venue, etc. Online attendees as well. Have a great weekend.
I've got plenty. I love that.
Bye.
See.
See you. Thank you. That was very good.
Now, anybody who's interested, we can have drinks downstairs. There's a couple of bars downstairs.
The last one.
If you're interested.
Oh, is that just in the venue? I'm not doing the venue one. Yeah, see you. Yeah, have a good Christmas, everyone. Signed up for Rex. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
You too, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for your help tonight.
No worries. Christmas. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Yeah.
Didn't mind going to that one.
What?
Oh, excellent.
Probably 500 metres, wasn't it?
Hard, I've heard it's hard to get to, but I mean, I can't.
Either way.
5 minutes.
Like,
5 minutes to get a train?
Where is it?
I can walk.
Oh, you're not that close.
Not enough time?
You're like-
Probably not enough time, so,
Port Melbourne, so.
especially with getting
So
the,
you, what I would say is a
Yeah.
decent mark.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
you got one of
It's
these?
not going anywhere.
It's not a whole bit.
No, I did the same way.
And then you come out.
Can you take me in the canter?
That's right.
Yeah.
I've already got one in it now.
Bring it up, you know, Ben.
Oh, yeah, I'll give one.
Oh,
There
week, actually.
you go.
She's in my place.
So there you go, you're not even getting over.
Pardon?
No, it was incredibly confusing. No, so bad.
They did do is.
I better chip in and they'll make me felt. I'll say no more sessions. I'm gonna say no more sessions like that, so I don't have to do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was good.
I think I was looking at these tables going.
I've only just started using it.
Everybody ate all their chocolates. My goodness.
No,
Oh, it's just like, I didn't wrap this.
I'll put it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vegan
I'm
Gary?
eating another one of these.
Sorry.
What chocolate eyes on my home? I've already got
I
one.
mean, we got stuff. Thanks, Kendall. Oh, no,
Did you
Zippo
want to
pens.
put
It's
your-
fine.
She hasn't called me back, but I'll just,
Oh, drop out, no.
your contact details.
They don't.
Yeah, no, good.
So I should have thank you.
Can you send me your, just your contact with your email address and stuff, and then I'll,
All right.
yeah,
Darren,
if that's about, yeah,
If I volunteer,
Oh.
I'll do that later.
no worries,
I
okay.
can flip it.
No worries.
Caroline, do it.
I'm sorry I didn't go.
Oh, that's all right. I didn't- No,
I can't.
good luck with everything.
Oh.
Hang on,
I might be able to do it. So-
See you.
There you go.
I'm gonna let you take that.